Ganesh Chish for joining us for the history and future of Yesh Kawu. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you all. I would like to start by establishing myself. Giski Khan Henach Harishadali Yuchat Duasak, Slinket Henach Gundataji Kla Yuchat Duasak, Slukna Hadina Khatati Yakatatka St. Paul Kondach. So sorry guys. My name means Mother of the Bumblebees. I am Tlingit and Aleut from Yakutat and St. Paul Island. Today I represent my ancestors, my community, and our future generations. I am an elected Southeast Youth Representative for the First Alaska's Institute and Tlingit and Haida Central Council. I work for Goldbout Heritage Foundation, this evening's generous fiscal sponsor. Growing up, I participated in countless powwows and totem pole raisings, always being surrounded by our Indigenous ways of life. Tonight is an extraordinary opportunity to continue our cultures through traditions, songs, and regalia. We are here to teach the origins of Yesh Kawu, Raven's Tail weaving. Our profound artists have been working tirelessly for this monumental event. Please give me a hand in welcoming a great mother, a wonderful teacher, renowned artist, and visionary for this evening, Wush Kandain Da'at, Lily Hope Weaver.
Holy smokes. Whew. Welcome. Thank you again for being here. Thank you, Arilana. Wushkindain da'at yochatu asak, yesh nachatsiti, dakdain tan ayachat. My Tlingit name means many walking behind another in an upward trajectory. I feel this tonight, all of us walking together. I'm here physically and creatively because of my late mother, renowned weaver and artist Clarissa Rizal. I learned to weave Raven's Tail from her in 1994 and from one of tonight's honorees, Kay Field Parker, starting in 2002. The collar that I am wearing is my sister's work, Ursula Hudson, at Kadusne on Instagram. Thank you, Jerry Stoll, for letting me borrow this. It feels like my sister and my mother are both here in the room. I might have visioned this event, but many, many hands and hearts made this possible. Ganesh Chish for believing in this and for all of your hard work. You, each of you here are making history right now with us. You are in for an experience. Tonight's story has not been told at this scale before. Ganesh Chish again for your warmth here in Centennial Hall and all of you tuning in online through KTOO. To ground our work on our lands, please help me welcome to the stage 3 dedicated language speakers. Kastine Jill Meserve, Shagoap Alfie Price, and Hoot Gigana Lauren Framke. Thank you for your words tonight. May our grandparents May our grandparents' languages echo across the oceans.
Ganesh Chish taka Johan kakatla hayite deshi ya yukatangitan. Shtuga hadati yiide ya yidat at yati teen. Shtuga hadati ya hain ye daneyi ya at waskuten. Shtuga hadati hain yesakuwu ya at dat yukatank. Shtuga hadati Yakua Latiwutin Gachtu Adi, Gunil Chish, Yak Agent to Kawaha Yayil Kuwa, Gunil Chish.
Hatala is delung eish an di hungolgan. Chut gigana hinu dikia ang. Diu hatas isgan slungadagan. Had kish skat ang. Aji sanai eat sung adung. Gin untalung unsit isgan giashlanai. Delung alung istung. Gin skatada le igas alung yak dongs ace. Eat till kiui. Skungen wadlu gut ace. Talung istal slungung. Jahawa.
Ayel kenem de kwasem will lesai ilsem de simgit wel segetwin. Ayel kenem will dip hakox come. De segait hoi simgit welai de gwa. De segait hoi simgit adauga gwa. De amadauga gasualayms int zaiska gaina de come will dip them welsem. Come gos welsem. Come gos welsem. De ama habol de gera quis halait. Why what?
What they said was, "We are grateful to you all for bearing witness to this moment. We are grateful to be here with you, sharing knowledge, sharing history, and honoring teachers who have cleared the path for us to all walk together. Thank you. Thank you. Raven's Tail is in good hands. Thank you again, Kastine, Shagoap, and Chut Gigin away. I said that wrong, hey. The title of tonight's event is The History and Future of Yeshkuwu. Before we jump to the past, I want to highlight part of our rich future. Over 100 weavers are working on major Raven's Tail projects inspired by historic works and the desire to co-create. The Weavers Across the Waters robe, finished in 2016, was visioned and coordinated by Clarissa Rizal. Many weavers on this robe are in the audience tonight, hoo-ha, or watching live online. This robe is intended to be worn by dignitaries each time a newly carved dugout canoe makes a maiden voyage on the waters of Southeast Alaska. It dances tonight courtesy of Evergreen College Weaver's Studio in Olympia, Washington, where it lives when not being worn. Additionally, the Giving Strength robe is still in progress to be worn by survivors of domestic and sexual violence living at Aware Incorporated, our local shelter. It has also been woven solely on a volunteer basis. We wove with the purpose of wrapping the wearer in our intentions for healing and strength. We're still looking for volunteers to help us finish weaving these borders. The two Weaving Our Pride, Raven's Tail, and Chilkat community robes are being woven on the premises at Zach Gordon Youth Center by Native, non-Native, queer, straight, cisgender, transgender, all identities youth and allies sitting side by side with 6 mentor artists. These robes will live at the Zach Gordon Youth Center as permanent wearable art pieces to be worn only by youth during SHI's biennial celebration, graduations, new name parties, coming out parties, significant Native and non-Native events. The Chilkat sibling of these robes is almost done, will dance on June 5, 2024 during Sealaska Heritage Institute's Celebration Grand Entrance. Learn more about these projects at lilyhope.com. They are all rooted in lineage, historic pattern integrity, innovation, and community, which you will hear about now, the history of Yeshkuwu. I give you my longtime student and artist in their own right, Shim Lukshkan Ruth Hollows.
Shumlakshkandawam, Shumlakshkandawayu, Ganhada Haitganu, the Wabgamsh, Gitlan Galtsabu, Scotland the Wilshawatgu, Simshianu. Rotary Swanadi Agwinsiatsu, Meslakesla the Wawatgit, Dorothy Hayward Wanadi the issue, Shu Metlaketla the Wawatgit. Shu dath edda witatnineath wuwash denoyu. Ketchikan de wawatgit. Tacoma de wawatgu edda lachubum authum de wotsogu getwin de oa Phoenix, Arizona. Lugala yeltganu de shagait wanum de takni nusham shagetwin. Dimka melskanu, aquasham de gadiskum wash. I am called Woman of the Cedar Mat. I belong to the Raven clan of the House of Gamach of the Gitland village. I come out of a house of Scotland. I am Simshian. My great-grandmother was Rhoda Rees. She was born in Metlakatla in British Columbia. My grandmother was Dorothy Hayward. She was born in New Metlakatla in Alaska. My mother holds two names, New Dear One and Many Fins in the Water. She was born in Ketchikan. I was born in Tacoma, and I live now on Otham traditional lands in Phoenix, Arizona. I am so fortunate to be gathered with all of you today. I am going to share some history with you about Raven's Tail. Lily said, I have to say, I am an artist and a weaver. As we celebrate, I will share with you the origins of our woolen weaving, introduce you to the materials and skills needed to create them, and honor its awakening and restoration. Raven's tail weaving originates from people indigenous to the river and coastal waterways of Southeast Alaska and Northwest British Columbia. Each nation has their own name for this ceremonial art form. Tlingit words Yethkawu translate as tail of the raven. Haida histories speak of Jot, or cloud robes. The Tsimshian word Gadithgam Wash means fringed blanket, and the Niska term Gwishmashk means to be wrapped in white. This art form slept for nearly 200 years. We have access to few examples of robes and little of its protocols, meanings, and historical uses. Close connection and similarities to Chilkat dancing blankets lead us to believe our leaders used raven's tail robes. B.A. Haldane gives us this image of a raven's tail robe in use. Sigarum na'ach gwa'a. This is a Tsimshian matriarch wearing one of the combinational robes. We appreciate Tony Tangs for his research and this shift in terminology. Many patterns originate in spruce root basketry and cedar basketry. Graphing them has encouraged the use of historical patterns and the development of new patterns in raven's tail weaving. The researchers and weavers who restored raven's tail chose the name based on this pattern. the tail of the raven, which recurs in both baskets and blankets. Weavers adapted native basketry patterns since the beginning of raven's tail weaving. The materials for raven's tail robes emphasize our tradition of innovation. Late 20th century researchers wrote, when European explorers first met the Tlingit and Haida in what is now southeastern Alaska, they were deeply impressed by handsome robes woven in complex designs of the wool of some unknown animal. We now know the earliest warps and wefts were spun from the fiber of woolly dogs. The population of woolly dogs declined, and we innovated, using fibers from mountain goats, which were introduced by Europeans. The mountain goat population is declining. Today, we mainly use fibers of merino sheep. We weave raven's tail robes on single bar looms, a doubled piece of warp long enough to travel across the desired width of the weaving and down the length of each side is suspended on the loom. Then free-hanging warps are folded over the header cord and secured with 2 rows of weft, stacked around paired warp ends. A weaver creates vertical and horizontal tension with their hands alone. 9 hand twining skills comprise the work of raven's tail weaving. 2-strand twining is the core of raven's tail weaving. It has 7 varieties, including alternate space twining, also called ground twining or snow rose, skip stitch, which creates patterns in a single color by alternating stitches of 4 warps on a field of stacked over 2 stitches, and 2-color twining, which creates dramatic black and white patterns. 3-strand twining and spiral weft technique wrap weft across and down the warps to create decorative borders and designs. A space-twined raven's tail robe is fringed at the sides and the bottom and incorporates all 9 twining techniques. Weavers set the tension by 2-strand twining snow rose, then mark the beginning of the design by creating a selvage braid with 3-strand twining. Skip stitch decorates the top of the design, and additional 3-strand twining frames the central design field. Weavers create top and bottom borders with 2-color twining and side borders with spiral weft. The design field is composed of multiple concentric patterns formed by 3-strand twining. Cool. Yes. Raven's tail weaving slept for nearly 200 years until curiosity and dedicated research restored the knowledge. In the 1970s, researcher and fiber artist Cheryl Samuel was studying Chilkat dancing blankets. The robes she sought included hand-twined techniques, including braided weft strands on reinforced cedar warp, and to create curvilinear designs, shapes resulting in 2-dimensional form line design. Cheryl received a package from Carolyn Osborne containing research materials for a chapter entitled The Yakutat Blanket, with a detailed descriptions of a geometric Chilkat. Over 13 pages, Osborne gives an accounting of the fragmented remains of a blanket. She discusses the materials, natural woolen fibers, the technique of a decorated 3-strand twining, invariably up to the left, and a pattern that proceeds into a geometric zigzag design of dark and light wefts. Cheryl was intrigued by the differences between these descriptions of the Chilkat weavings she had been studying. The Yakutat blanket research mentions 3 similar blankets in other collections. Samuel combined the information with her recent study of the Swift robe and her previous study of a blanket she describes as blocks of Chilkat design units on black and white background. She wanted to know more about this style of weaving. Cheryl Samuel researched collections across the world and discovered 15 robes and partial robes, some painted, some sketched, some in pieces. These were housed across 12 museums in Europe. Cheryl gathered the resources to visit each remaining example. The diamond robe was in collection at the Museum of Mankind in London, and the Swift robe was in collection at the Peabody Museum at Harvard University. These are the most complete historical robes. Cheryl was able to handle the robes, to pick them up, to turn them over, to investigate how the wefts moved around the free-hanging warps. She used the knowledge she gathered from Chilkat study to devise the techniques of raven's tail weaving. The raven's tail accounts for Cheryl's research. She describes the movement of the weft around the warps in each robe with precise detail, painting a picture of each of the 9 twining techniques she observed. Cheryl Samuels made a life's work of sharing the heritable knowledge she gathered from the historical robes. From the 1980s through the early 2000s, Cheryl Samuel taught classes in Canada and Alaska. Kay Field Parker witnessed one of those classes at the University of Alaska Southeast and fell in love. Kay studied Cheryl's book, The Raven's Tale, and was finally able to take her first class 2 years later. Both Cheryl and Kay have supported learning weavers with kindness and generosity, preserving the divine ratios in our ancestors' robes. They participated in the formation of the Raven's Tail Weaver Guild, which generously provides knowledge and skill-sharing opportunities. It charges less for its publications than the cost of printing, and weavers' gatherings have always been free to guild members. Cheryl Samuel wove replicas of historical robes with the artists she taught and collaborative projects based on her learning. The Mother Robe is one of those early collaborative projects. It includes the work of weavers from Alaska and Canada working together for more than 1,400 hours over 13 months. The Hands Across Time ensemble was woven at the Alaska State Museum by volunteers. Together, they contributed 1,800 hours of weaving and created the first raven's tail weaving with a contemporary design woven in Alaska since the 1800s. Lanny Hotch, Ruth Casco, Edith Jacquot, and Adrian Ravana wove the Klukwan healing robe, together with mentorship from Samuel over 8 years. Weaving the robe provided a tangible way for their community to work on healing. Joe Hotch, a tribal leader, said the robe's completion marked the end of a long, cold journey. Kay Parker continued to learn, weave nonstop, and share what she learned. In 2020, communities of Northwest coastal people and institutions in Southeast Alaska applied innovations in technology that supported connection and skill sharing online. I placed my first warps on a loom online with Kay Parker from my home on Otham Lands in Arizona. Her invitation to this community welcomed me to a path that changed my life. The long slumber of raven's tail weaving ended with Cheryl Samuel's research. Kay Parker supported its awakening and has taught for over 40 years. Many people and organizations contributed in Alaska and Canada. In 2019, there were fewer than a dozen weavers in the world who had woven a raven's tail dancing robe. Today, there are 4 times as many, and our numbers are growing. Cheryl, Kay, we are truly bound to you. Sim toik shit nushim, gunak chish, hawa. And I would like to welcome Lily Hope back to the stage. We are so grateful for Lily's open heart, her kindness, her generosity, for creating a community where we all thrive together. Please join me in welcoming her.
I am so lucky. Thank you, Ruth, for your work and your words. I would like to slow down and take a moment to remember two Duckdane Ton weavers. Clarissa, Terry, we love you. Your artistry, your ferocity, your humor, your scientific and creative minds and generosity of spirit is still felt by us. We love you. We love you. Thank you for that. We now welcome to the stage my friend George Holly, who has been composing energy-shifting songs since long before we were friends. George Holly.
Awesome. Dogaden. Dogaden. Oh, yeah. Kind of need the words, huh? Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Dogaden. Dogaden giti. Jochgets I se'ezre. Dig hit on itlan. Deloitte chetchot eniso. Giti siyechonel go digging yithdisto. My name is Jochgets I George Holly, and I'm Digit on at the Baskin, and I have the honor and privilege of living here on Tlingit Ani and working with the Tlingit peoples over generations. Thank you for inviting me. I'll open with a blessing upon this art form and all those to ever practice it. It is a poem for this moment by Hune Lance Twitchell that I've placed to music. It invokes the mountain top calling the fur of the mountain goat to the hands of the weavers to then spin, spin, spin. Let it be that you may ever weave the strength of your ancestors into this great work. Shayada Shayada yada janwu khau haji dekakwa kanastus 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 yek ya nuat hathis has latsini atude kagach tu sanne kanastus 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 Sayada. Hui. Do geden gunul cheese. I'd like to invite all of you here to join me in this next song. This song I wrote for the name of this show. And I'll invite you to sing the vocables of this song. I'll sing the words and you all can sing the vocables. Those are the sounds that carry this feeling forward. I'll also ask for a couple volunteers in each area, if I could, who would be able to throw out a good whee, whee. So if there could be someone in each section who could sing out a whee when I signal to you. And is there someone here in this forward section? Yes, please. I'm looking for a hand, someone here who can call out whee. That's each section, friends. Yes? Yes? And another over here. Yay. Yay away. Goodness cheese. So this is how it will go, okay? Hui. Let's see. Let me pause for a moment. Okay. We'll practice that for a moment, okay? So, yes, hui. All right, that's how it'll go. It'll go, yes, hui. Am I hearing my voices? Here we go. Yes, ko. Oh, yeah, away. Goodness cheese. One more time. Yes, ko. Yeah, away. And at that same moment, then the rest of you I will invite to sing the vocables with me. And it goes, Yah, 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 Yah. And that's how the vocables go. It goes all together with me. Yah, 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 Yah. Okay, and we'll put those two things together, okay? So, when the moment that the friends say, hui, the rest of the friends all begin. Yah, 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 Yah. Now let's try it. Here we go. Yes, yes, Tlechta adika shade, Nach Isak Gs. Tlechta adika shade, Nach Isak Gs. Yeshko, aha, yaha, yaha, yaha. And I think that friends might find it more inviting to sing if you all stand. Oh, well, goodness cheese, because then you could feel the sway in it just a little bit. Okay, here we go. And the words say, Raven's Tail regalia for future leaders. Yeshko achiye.
We are here tonight to honor the efforts and work of two powerhouse artists who have carried Raven's-Tail weaving with kindness and integrity. They are not the only ones perpetuating this work. They are two of the most prolific, and it's about time we share this legacy. I'll speak now about our first honoree, Cheryl Samuel. Cheryl is a retired weaver, researcher, educator, author, and visual artist. After her introduction to Northwest Coast textiles by renowned Seattle artist Bill Holm, Cheryl devoted her life to learning about and preserving the knowledge of Nachain Chilkat weaving and Yeshkuwu Raven's Tail. Her research led to the publication of the Chilkat Dancing Blanket and The Raven's Tale. Both of these books meticulously recount the techniques needed to weave each of these complex finger-twined art forms. Cheryl taught at various universities, including the Lester Pearson College in Victoria, BC, and the University of Alaska Southeast here in Juneau. Throughout her life, she has passed her knowledge of weaving on through her books, workshops, and mentorships. Many of her students have gone on to weave Yeshkuwu, Raven's Tale, Nachain, Chilkat, ceremonial regalia, and have become teachers themselves. Cheryl is unable to join us in person tonight. Please welcome to the stage on her behalf, Janet Schempf. And I forgot to say, we love you, George Holly. Thank you, thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you, Lily. Gunashish Hayadi. Cheryl is disappointed not to be with us today. Thank you for honoring her big dreams and hopes for the future of Raven's Tale. Cheryl taught an appreciation for the Raven's Tale art form so that people who were not weavers would recognize and value this particular style of finger weaving. She hoped that at least some of her students who were proficient weavers would teach their children, their sisters, and their communities. She dreamed of seeing robes she had not woven herself dance, for these robes are meant for dancing. The Raven's Tale Renaissance began with one weaver, that was Cheryl herself. Then there were three, Cheryl, Dolores Churchill, and Ernestine Hanlon Abel. And now, we can't count all the weavers. One of Cheryl's dreams was a Raven's Tale Weavers Guild that would bring weavers together to support and encourage each other, to grow the Raven's Tale movement, and to assist securing supplies. Kay Field Parker was one of Cheryl's students, and she became one of the most prolific weavers of Yilkuwu. Early in her childhood, Kay developed an interest in textiles, making fabric dolls, knitting, and sewing by age 7. In 1986, while taking a basketry class at the University of Alaska Southeast, Kay noticed Cheryl Samuel and a group of weavers across the hall, weaving Yilkuwu. As time went on, Kay watched the weavings come to life, and she yearned to know the art form. She began studying with Kathy Rado and later with Cheryl. After completing several smaller pieces, Kay joined the collaborative weaving project Hands Across Time at the Alaska State Museum. The experience solidified her love of Yilkuwu, and she went on to become an outstanding teacher and leader of the Raven's Tale Weavers Guild. Kay has woven 6 adult-sized robes, 8 tunics without sleeves, 2 tunics with sleeves, and countless hats, dance aprons, leggings, bibs, and headbands. And Gunashish, Kay, Gunashish.
Good evening, and thank you for coming. I would like to thank my teacher, Cheryl Samuel. She is one of the most amazingly talented and sharing artists that I know. In 1990, the Ketchikan Totem Heritage Center invited 5 teachers and 40 weavers to spend a week getting to know each other and sharing the art form. With Cheryl's guidance, we started a robe which traveled to the member communities, and with each group weaving a pattern and sending it on to another group. Cheryl Samuel graphed a new pattern called All Weavers Intertwined, which is the top and bottom border of this robe known as the Mother Robe. And as the weeks progressed and the weavings developed, we became captivated, and weaving became a habit that became a lifestyle, and so it began. We know that these ancient weavers were immensely talented, not only with their hands, but with their eyes, their minds, their memories, and their imaginations, and their sense of design and balance. Cheryl's book, The Raven's Tale, published in 1987 and reviewed by Levi Strauss, who said, "I choose my words carefully. This book is a masterpiece. It should be required reading for all textile specialists everywhere in the world."
Woo! Thank you, Kay. I'd like to invite my former student and now weaving and teaching colleague, Shawat Ray Mills, to the stage, who carries our offerings of gratitude to our honorees tonight. These bentwood boxes were made by UAS student Lynn Tribian. Yeah, Janet, and if you guys will come this way. Come this way. Teaser, come follow. Janet, we ask that you accept this traditional bentwood box on Cheryl's behalf. Inside, there are written gratitudes from dancers who may also be students of yours. We imagine you and your family reading them together. May this symbolize the knowledge that you have carried and shared so generously. We lift you up, Cheryl. We lift you up, Cheryl. Kay, please accept this traditional bentwood box. It also has writings from your students, many of whom are here tonight. May they affirm that each drop of your teachings will ripple all the way to shore. Gunas Chish Shawat Gay Ray Mills. Let's give Cheryl and Kay another round of applause. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. As we come to the grand finale of our evening with dancing robes, I'd like to thank some key partners who made this possible. Gunas Chish to our fiscal sponsor, Goldbelt Heritage Foundation, our media sponsor, KTOO, with major funding from Goldbelt Incorporated, Wushkindanda Lily Hope Weaver Studio, the Siri Foundation, generous support from Sea Alaska Sustainable Arts Foundation, Juneau Lions Club, Juneau Community Foundation, Alaska Litho, Central Council, Tlingit and Haida Indian Tribes of Alaska, Sarah Kaltsuni, and Bob and Rita Moore. Huge thanks to the people who bring this all to life, who brought this all to life. Taylor Vidic, our producer. Woo! If you are doing an event, hire Taylor. Thank you to Rachel Disney. You have helped to keep me sane. These two are the mycelium network holding it all together. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Gunnar Cheesh to my Eddie Jones. Meow. Thanks to Christine Carpenter, Jim Samard, Jim Zeller, Nina Edwards, Wayne Price, Kevin Jones, Lynn Tribbian, Davina Cole, Haley Reed, UAS Chancellor Aparna, and Dean Karen. Thank you, Miko and the team at KTOO, our closed captioners online, and Betsy Sims at Studio A. Woo, Betsy! Thank you to Scott Burton at Authenta Media. Thank you to Kathleen Harper and the team here at Centennial Hall. Goodness sheesh to Heather Evoy and the TANF program. Thank you to Laura Vermeulen and Davina Burrill and Ellen Carley and Emily Galgano. Thank you to our dance groups, Has du itich, Cha Ke dich Hasati, and Yis Ku'u, plus their bonus singers and drummers and dancers. And thank you to each of you who have shared tonight and each of you, our witnesses. Gunas Chish to all the weavers and their dedication and their families and friends who supported them. The work you are about to see is decades in the making. I'm grateful to co-create with you. I am in awe of you. Many robes dancing tonight will be exhibited at the Juneau Douglas City Museum through October 2024. Raven's Tail regalia for future leaders. Join us this Friday, May 3rd from 4:30 to 7 for the opening reception. Without any more talking, I give you the dancing of the robes. Gunas Chish.
Gynnal chis da cut Johan. She awadenik e. Gynnal chis hati adi yachana. Has du iti kekedi chastity you had do a sock. Jashukwa ai yanmasha kashi kewatu a she. A it a. Ducklawady kashi watu a she. Neslu her you do a sock wish at she. You dat acting tan kashi kate gach to she. Veronica Dalton haina kawani ketwasa uta kate gach to she ya ai. Kachkan you do a sock. Good.
Hey,
Why, look all the am gagorism, the needs of some shagetwin. We're really happy to see you all today. We entered on the Tsimshian entrance. It was composed by my friend Don Wells in BC, and we acknowledge it every time we use it. As you can tell, it's a lot of fun, especially wearing these. The next song we're going to do for you is another Tsimshian song, and this is called Strutting Raven.
Yeah.
Now, there's going to be something kind of, I want you to watch yourselves, because everybody up here is going to be a raven for the next 6 minutes. So, watch your food, watch your shiny things. Why? And then after that, we're gonna have a few more special words, and then we're all gonna exit with a trail song of the Gunana series. Enjoy some, Gumgot Welsham, Ganesh Chi Shawa. Thank you for having us come and share in this beautiful event. There's something special about wearing these, and we're not going to want to stop. Why, what? Do I exit Newsom?
Okay. You have just witnessed the largest gathering of Ravenstail regalia in history ever. Goodness Chi Shagin for joining us. If we didn't say your name, forgive us. Know that we appreciate you. You have made magic happen tonight. Thank you to the Akwan whose land we stand and celebrate on tonight. And mark your calendars for mid-June 2026 for the first ever Northwest Coast Weavers Symposium, a 3-day affair culminating in the gathering of the robes, a joining of all culturally owned Chilkat, Ravenstail, and Cedar Bark regalia dancing together. After this last song, we invite you to join us in the lobby to view these masterpieces up close. Please also accept a small gift on your way out the door in remembrance of tonight. It looks like Shawat Ray Mills has something to say. Eh?
There's one more person that we need to honor tonight. Anyone can guess? Lily Hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for making magic with me. Let's do it bigger in 2 years, eh? Ho ha! Woo! Let's do this.
Wow.